Welcome back to AfricaCom TV at the 20th anniversary of AfricaCom right here in Cape Town, South Africa. We have with us now the Deputy Minister of Telecommunications. It's lovely to have you here, and I have a question or two for you in a moment. But let's start with David from iDirect. David, it is said that connectivity is going to be a big driver as far as addressing some of the socio-economic challenges that we have on the African continent. We're talking business, financial, healthcare, government services even. What's your approach to providing such solutions on the continent?
Well, as part of the multiple markets you just addressed, it's basic knowledge and empowerment of the individual. And the emerging African youth need to be educated and have their horizons expanded. And through this, it's ICT, satellite, education. This gives rise to the new economic drives of Africa. So yes, there's commercial opportunities today, but iDirect's vision for Africa is investment in social responsibility and establishment of education and social benefits outside of the pure commercial market. So we see this as a dual opportunity. Yes, commercial opportunities, but also investment in the continent.
And in order for us to achieve those wonderful visions for iDirect, what do you think needs to be done, and needs to be done yesterday, I suppose?
Well, I think first of all is investment. We have a full team across the whole continent of local talent. Rather than trying to manage it from outside of the continent, investment in here. Having locals involved, getting involved in the social economic fabric, dealing with the Ministry of Telecom, Ministry of Education. So an active participation, rather than simply just trying to sell into the market, is to be an active participant in the market as a true partner, just not purely pulling commerce out of Africa.
Let me bring in the Deputy Minister at this point then, because everyone I've spoken to at this AfricaCom has been talking about satellite. What regulation are we putting in place to make it possible and viable, obviously, for those operators to operate here?
Well, the first thing that we must explain is that we're so happy that the South African government finally took a decision to say we've got to explore the use of satellite in our country. But secondly on that, they said we've got to make sure that we also develop a local one or a domestic one, which therefore puts us into so much pressure that as the department, we've got to make sure that we respond to the communication satellite development. Therefore, we are working with our entity, Centec and CSIR, to ensure that that is in place. Of course, we're going to be presenting the business case to Cabinet before the end of the financial year.
Because you've got quite a tight deadline. You've given yourself a target of 22 million people connected in South Africa by 2020.
Definitely, and that is what we're not going to miss out. You know that if we are saying 22 million by 2020, it means we've got to fast-track whatever programs that we are rolling out. It means we've got to explore all avenues that are in place to make sure how do we complement the strategies and the activities that we're rolling out. That is why we are here today, and we thank iDirect for inviting us. But most importantly, it's about the partnerships that we're able to forge with all the role players, and then into ensuring that those 22 million people that we're talking about are not left behind in terms of getting connected.
Because we cannot stress enough the importance of a partnership between private and public sector.
Definitely, I said, as the ANC government, we believe in one thing, that we cannot do it alone as government. We've got to make sure that we work with everybody who adds value to whatever that we want to achieve. That is why we are here. But we're also calling upon others. As you know that the department's Minister Kwele, made a call to everyone by adopting and launching a program that is called for Internet for All, to say whoever that is in the internet space, let's come together, let's share experiences, but most importantly, let's make sure how do we work together that we ensure that my citizens, my voters have access to information, whilst the private sector is also making sure that they're making their profits. Of course, that has to be affordable, because I represent the people that vote for me.
And that is why it's important for you to come and visit iDirect in the connectivity hall and have a conversation with them in terms of how you can partner with them as they partner with government to deliver the connectivity solutions. This is AfricaCom, where business happens.